What is up, everyone? Welcome to week 4 of season 4 of the Lyons Den Quiz League. We are back. Last week was solid. I finished 9th, which I think is pretty good given the pop culture quiz was hard, and there was also a makeup quiz. And I was 2nd in the week before and 3rd the week before that. So a very solid start to the season. This isn't very accurate given I've played fewer weeks than most of the other people in here, but still, it's been a good start, so I'm going to look to continue on that this week. There will be one more week of the regular season, then presumably another championship. That's another thing to look forward to. First quiz is all about plants. It's just general knowledge, though. Name either of the musicians that released the albums seen below. One is an American artist, the other is English. Both albums were certified platinum. I have literally no idea. No idea. I mean, I've never heard of either of these albums. The covers don't look familiar to me. The titles don't sound familiar to me. I have no idea. So I'm going to guess John Mayer because he is a person who exists. And yeah, that's about all I know. So question 2. What is the forward title of this plant-themed poem by Robert Frost? Which is the same as its final line. Once again, literally never seen this in my life. Nature's first green is gold, or hardest hue to hold, etc. So it's talking about how it starts with gold, but gold is hard to hold, and then it becomes leaf, whatever that means, and then dawn goes down. I don't know. So the nature gets less shiny, I guess. So I thought of something, and it slipped my mind, but I thought of, what was it? Gold. So it has to rhyme with day, the last word. I mean, I'm not going to get this right because I don't know what this is, but I made up something anyway. It was Nature's first green. Okay, so I think gold something cannot stay gold hues. I mean, it says hue up here, but it could be like gold hues cannot stay. It could just be kind of a repetition of the first couple lines. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. This is wrong, obviously. If this is right, that's completely insane because, again, I've never heard of this poem, so I'm not going to get it. But anyway, that's the best I could come up with because it sort of fits the theme of what it's saying and it rhymes with day, so I'm just going to go with that. Question 3. Flowers, like other organisms, have male and female reproductive organs. The pistil is the female one, and the stamen, I believe, is the male one, unless it's the stigma, which is also a thing, but I'm pretty sure it's the stamen. That should hopefully be the answer there. Which artist painted a series of paintings called Water Lilies? This is, of course, Claude Monet. This is quite famous, I think. Question 5. What plant names an influential Buddhist sutra, a yoga pose, and a car brand? So the Lotus Sutra is a thing. A yoga pose, Lotus works. I don't know what the car brand is, but I would believe that it exists. But I'm pretty sure the Lotus Sutra, I think that's just what it is. And then the thyrsus is a staff wrapped with vines and associated with Dionysus or Bacchus. It follows the Maenads, which makes sense, otherwise known as the Bacchae, which I guess is the... Are they the Bacchae, or is that... I don't know. Anyway, the play is called the Bacchae. And the mother... Yeah, anyway, I read that in college at one point. Poor old Pentheus, although he was kind of a dick, so I think he sort of got what was coming to him. Anyway, my brain is scattered right now. I'm tired and I have a lot of stuff to do after this because I am leaving for Europe tomorrow. But anyway, just trying to get through this before the deadline. So I think I will enhance... 1 and 2 are wrong. Probably. 6 is not that hard, although it doesn't say anything about wine, but vines, come on. Monet is way too easy. I think I'll enhance 3 because I feel like that's not super trivial knowledge, and I'm reasonably sure that that's the correct word. Jack Johnson or pass. Nothing gold can stay. Hey, That was actually pretty close. You got to give me credit for that. Like, I mean, you don't have to give me credit for that, but you know what I mean. So that's 4 out of 6. That's fine. I mean, I figured if it was about nice colors disappearing, then like not being able to stay was a good way to rhyme it. But anyway, that was actually pretty close. But I've never heard the poem, so that's not happening. 4 out of 6. Quiz 2. Track and field athlete Carl Lewis won 9 Olympic golds in long jump and race running events. And he was known for being the first runner to break a barrier named after what amount of time? I'm not totally sure, but I think maybe 4 minutes, because like the 4-minute mile is, I think, a famous barrier that was eventually broken in running. So I'm just going to go with 4 minutes. I think it makes sense. Question 2, Leona Lewis, best known for Bleeding Love, became prominent thanks to what TV show that also launched the careers of these other people? I'm pretty sure this is the X Factor, because I'm reasonably certain that's where One Direction came from. I've heard of them being a product of the X Factor before. And the other guesses I would have would be like The Voice and American Idol and stuff, which don't make sense because they're British and The Voice is like individual. So I think the X Factor makes sense. Or at least more sense than anything else I would come up with. Question 3, Lewis and Clark expedition, assisted by Sacagawea, whose son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, had what nickname? Anyway, I like the first sentence, like what the hell, but then the second sentence, guy who formed a political alliance with Crassus and Caesar. This is just Pompey. It's the first triumvirate, unless it's the second triumvirate. I think it's the first one, though. But anyway, I've never even heard of Charbonneau, but like, yeah, I think Pompey should just be the answer here. Thanks to the alternate clue. And Lewis dot structures, the things are lone pairs of, I guess what they want me to say is electrons, because this is a triple bond, and then the things over here are just unpaired electrons. So yeah, the dots themselves are electrons. Question 5, The Art of Winning an Unfair Game is the subtitle of a book by Michael Lewis, whose main title is Moneyball. I have actually read that book and seen the movie, and although they're reasonably different from each other, they are both excellent. And then question 6, C.S. Lewis, best known for the Chronicles of Narnia, also wrote the Screw Tape Letters, in which the demon Screwtape writes instructions to his nephew on how to guide a man to hell. The nephew's name, I believe, is Wormwood, which I just know because Wormwood is like a C.S. Lewis character, but it makes sense if there's a group of plants with that name. It certainly sounds like a plant. I'm sort of sad that it didn't include the teacher from Calvin and Hobbes, although to be fair, maybe that would have made the question easier. So I think the answer should be Wormwood, but I don't know what the last clue is talking about because I don't know Bible things. So Moneyball, electrons, Pompey. I think I will enhance 6, honestly, because it feels not that easy. Because the C.S. Lewis knowledge is definitely not that that well known, I wouldn't think. And then the other things, honestly, aren't that easy either. So I'm going to go with 6. And here's the CAPTCHA. And 10 seconds. Damn. Okay. Electrons, Pompey, X Factor. Okay, so that's 5 out of 6. Again, that's fine. I'm glad the X Factor was correct. It must be a 100-meter dash, I guess. Probably first to run a 10-second 100-meter dash. But, yeah, I wasn't sure if he was long distance or short distance because I don't know anything about the Olympics or athletes that participated in them, so unlucky. Quiz number 3 is about colors, but it's pop culture. Soccer club whose name contains the words Crvena Zvezda, or Red Star, is the only club in what country to have won the European Cup, the predecessor to the Champions League. So the club is called Red Star Belgrade. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. Red Star Belgrade is just a thing, so should be the answer. I think there's also like a Red Star like Paris team or something, but I think it's like some random. I also might be making that up. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's Belgrade. Question 2. Version of English used in A Clockwork Orange contains many slang terms made up for the book that the film was based on. What word, a cognate of the Russian word for friend, does Alex Lorge use to refer to his cronies in the movie? This is droogs. This is a movie I've seen a couple of times, and this is also a clue that would come up in like Quiz Bowl and stuff, like them being droogs. It's just, I don't know. It's a memorable word. I don't know what the Russian word for friend is, but it's obviously something close to that. But I'm pretty sure the word is droogs. Question 3. In the Beatles film Yellow Submarine, the group needs help to defeat the invading Blue Meanies, so they call upon what fictional group from Beatles lore? and then they're also mentioned in another song. I don't know. I know very little about the Beatles. I know very few of their songs, but I know the names of a couple of their albums. And the only thing in the Beatles canon that I'm aware of that sounds like a group is this. Sergeant Pepper. Is it Peppers? Peppers? I'm not actually sure. Lonely Hearts Club Band is a thing. It's the name of an album, and I think it's the name of a song as well. So I think it makes sense. It's a group, at least, that sounds quite fictional. But it could be anything else. But the problem is, if it's anything else, I'm not going to know it because I don't know the Beatles' music well. So that's just going to have to be my guess here. Question 4. Members of the Green Lantern Corps from DC Comics were what usually decorative objects which grant them the use of the powerful lantern force? I don't know or care. I'm going to say necklaces because those are things that you put on your body for decoration. But there are many things that this could be. But again, I don't care about anything related to superheroes, to be completely honest. So, yep, no clue. Question 5. Before making the TV show Bluey, Joe Brum worked as an animator for what show, which he said inspired Bluey? And then another clue about the theme songs. I think Bluey's Australian. I was talking with my friends recently about this. I mean, we had like a trivia question that related to Bluey or to Peppa Pig or something. Bluey came up. I don't remember exactly what the context was, but I think it was mentioned. I think Bluey's Australian, and another animated show that is Australian is Peppa Pig, and I think they were mentioned in the same context, but I might be making that up. But I think they're both Australian children's shows that are animated, so I think it makes perfect sense. And I think it was some clue that was like the connections between like the it was like the family members listed out in both like songs or something. I don't remember. The reason I don't remember was because I didn't know what was going on in the question, and my teammates just figured it out, and I was like, okay, cool, good job, guys. But anyway, I do think at that point in that question that Bluey and Peppa Pig were mentioned, so I kind of, I don't know, I associate them with each other, even if that's not even the right thing to do, but whatever. I'm completely rambling. I don't know. I think it's Peppa Pig because I don't know why I think it's Peppa Pig, but I think it's Peppa Pig, basically, because I think they're Australian, and I think that I associate them with each other in my head, even if that doesn't make sense. I said that like 10 times. You get the idea, whatever. Question 6. Prince's album Purple Rain contains 2 songs that hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. What song about a couple who constantly argues despite their sexual energy is the other number 1 hit from the album? Not sure. There are not, again, Prince is another artist I know very little. I know a few songs by Prince. The ones I can name are like Party Like It's 1999, Raspberry Beret, When Doves Cry, Purple Rain itself, and then there's like a couple other songs that I could probably think of. But the only one that I thought of when I was thinking about this question that actually made sense was When Doves Cry, because I mean, I know it goes like, this is what it sounds like when doves cry. I mean, maybe it's talking about a couple who argues, like doves crying, like doves are often used as a symbol for lovers, so I think it makes sense. And nothing else makes sense, basically, in my head, unless it's a song that I didn't think of or am not aware of. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a lot of yapping for no reason, but I think I'm going to enhance number 2 because Droogs is definitely not easy, and I'm quite confident that it's correct. So we shall see. When Doves Cry is correct. Peppa Pig is correct. Rings is guessable, probably. It's 5 out of 6. That's fine. Wait, did I say Belgrade? Did I say Serbia or did I say Belgrade? Oh no. Did I say Belgrade? I don't remember what I put it. Oh man. I don't remember if I said Belgrade or Serbia. See, when I read through the question, I told myself, okay, it says country, so don't write Belgrade, write Serbia. But when I submitted the quiz, I might have messed up. I don't remember what I put, but anyway, it's either 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 6. Rings was guessable. I mean, but again, necklaces, bracelets, like you can put anything on your body, so it could have been a lot of things. Whatever. But it's fine. I mean, it's still a decent performance, but I am going to be pretty sad if I get 4 because I said Belgrade instead of Serbia. Not actually sure if that happened or not. Quiz number 4. I don't know why I keep saying question. This is just diagrams that have things redacted from them. So number 1 is zodiac signs, which I hate with a passion, but yeah, the quiz makers know that too, I'm sure. Anyway, so this is a missing zodiac sign. I know a couple of these. I'm pretty sure this one, can you see I hope you can see my cursor. Anyway, this one here that I'm hovering over, I think is Pisces. I believe the one below it is Aries, which is supposed to be a ram because it looks like it has horns. I'm Pisces, which, I mean, I wish I didn't even know that, but I do, because it's hard not to be aware of that. Anyway, I'm Pisces. My mom is Aries, and she was born like a month after me, so it makes sense. However, I don't know much about the rest. I think Sagittarius is probably the arrow up here. Aquarius is probably the one that looks like water. Scorpio is probably the one that has an arrow. Otherwise, like, I don't know what the hell these things are. Like, it would be really nice if, like, if the symbols were actually intuitive and actually looked like what they're supposed to represent, but that would be too much to ask. Nothing about astrology is logical, so there you go. Anyway, my thought here was Cancer, because Cancer is a crab. I don't see anything in here that remotely resembles a crab, and I also think that Cancer is in the summer at some point, because I feel like there are people with summer birthdays who are Cancer. I don't know. I think I don't see any crabs here. Maybe like the M with the like tail is like somehow a crab. It wouldn't even surprise me, but yeah. I was thinking, yeah, like maybe the 69 one is like Gemini, because like there's twins, like they're the same thing, even if they're like flipped around, they are literally the same symbol. So I would guess those are probably the twins. Maybe Taurus is the one that looks like it kind of has horns on the top. The rest, like, forget it. But I'm going to say Cancer because I don't see a crab. Question 2. Name the title character of this film, who is one of the things redacted from this image. This is just E.T. in the, like, bike or whatever, like, flying across the moon. Question 3. This, like, I don't know why. I don't know if this, I feel like this cover screams Ayn Rand to me, and I don't know if it's because I've literally seen the cover or if there are other Ayn Rand covers that look almost exactly like this. But I figure this is surely Atlas Shrugged, because it literally looks like Atlas shrugging. I mean, he's holding something up and also kind of shrugging, question mark. So I think Ayn Rand should be the answer here. Question 4. Name a specific item redacted from the standard table setting. Like, what the hell? I mean, yeah, I mean, this is not something that I know, but I do have a guess that I think is reasonable. I mean, we have like 3 plates on top of each other, maybe, with a bowl on top of the plates, which is a lot of damn plates, but, you know, whatever floats your boat. There's a lot of everything here, to be fair. But the separate plate makes me think it could be some kind of plate for, like, appetizers or bread or something. And I noticed that we had a little tiny fork and we had a little tiny spoon, but we didn't have a little tiny knife, and I'm thinking maybe it's a butter knife because that is something you would have on a smaller plate, and I don't see a butter knife. I don't see a knife other than the normal one, so I figure butter knife is as good a guess as any here. Question 5: what animal has been redacted from these British works of art? I'm pretty sure the top one was a Lions Den League location, and I think it was a shark. It was like a shark. I mean, I remember there was some discourse about this after the fact, but like, yeah, there's like a statue of a shark that's just like protruding out of the top of a building in the UK, and it's on Street View, and somebody thought it would be clever to put a location there, but I'm pretty sure it's a shark statue. I don't know what the second thing is. Question 6, what has been redacted from this image? This is a fun little GeoGuessr question, but we have a New South Wales no stopping sign and a yellow backplate on this car over here, which tells us almost certainly that we're in New South Wales. What is something in New South Wales that could be across the water? Maybe this. If it's anything but this, I will be shocked, to be completely honest, but I guess it could be something else. But I feel pretty good about this answer. So, yeah. What do I enhance here? I mean, E.T. is too easy. Atlas Shrugged is... it's probably too easy. I mean, I don't know. It feels maybe a little too easy. Butter knife, I'm not sure is right. Honestly, I might enhance the shark because I'm reasonably confident that the shark is correct. Because I remember this being talked about before. And not everyone might remember that, but maybe I'm making a mistake because it was in LDL, but I'm not sure. I think I will enhance the shark, and we will see. All right, traffic lights. Does that even count? Probably not. Gemini. What? Bro. Okay. What's the 69 then? If that's not Gemini. Like, what is the... what is the two things that look... What's the crab, for that matter? Where was the crab? I didn't see a crab. Maybe the crab is the 69. I should probably stop calling it the 69 because people are going to laugh at me, but... like, what? Whatever, man. I hate the Zodiac. All right. It's actually the dumbest thing ever, man. I wonder if I'm going to have people, like, unsubscribing to my channel for, like, my opinions on astrology. Like, oh my god, you're such a Pisces for, like shut up. Oh my god. Whatever, man. It's honestly, yeah, I could go on forever about this, but it's actually the dumbest thing ever. Like, I don't know whose idea it was. Like, oh yeah, like this constellation happens to be behind the sun when you were born or whatever, so like now you like have certain traits. Like, come on. Like like how do people buy into that? I'll never understand it. Anyway, yeah, we love a bit of pseudoscience. Anyway, question 1 on quiz 5: the heavily sued application, Napster, and modern. Again, this week is like kind of rough. Like I've had a couple of quizzes that have gone well enough that were honestly pretty tricky, but there are a couple ones that are still to come that are just rough. Like, I don't know anything about computers, so like an entire quiz based around computers is just never going to go well for me. Anyway, what type of network where all the systems in the network directly share packets of information with each other? I thought maybe like LAN, like a local area network. I don't know a lot of types of networks. I can't say I can name many more than this. But directly sharing with each other, maybe that's what a LAN is. I don't know. It's the best I've got. Question 2. Inspired by the similarity... Can't talk. I'm tired and I'm not in the right state of mind right now to be recording a video, which you've probably figured out already. I've got too much else going on. But anyway, sorry for being a complete mess right now. Question 2, inspired by the similarity between the use of echo packets and sonar technology, Mike Moose coined what term for the metric he created to measure the communication speeds between two computers? It's probably ping. I mean, latency was another word that came to mind, but like sonar technology, I mean, ping sounds like a sound, so I think it makes perfect sense. So this is the best guess I'm going to have here. Question 3, if you're using a website with a well-made account system, the admins won't be able to read the password. It will be stored in the backend after being encrypted using what kind of function? Literally what? Like, can I name any type of function? Absolutely not. A small bit of random text intended to make these functions stronger is called a salt. I don't know what that means either. I am so unbelievably lost. I came up with an answer, and I don't even remember what my answer was. It was something... It was some other word that was like encryption, but different. Like, there's a... not encryption function, but like... cipher. That's the word I came up with. But I have no idea. I just, like, forget this question, man. Question 4. The words zip, tar, fork, and logic can all precede what word when referring to malicious files, bits of code, or viruses? meant to render a victim unable to use a computer. So my guess for this would have been virus, if virus wasn't in the question. But virus is in the question, so the other word I thought of was malware, because I think that means the same thing, roughly. So I'm going with that. Malicious files, I mean, it makes sense. Question 5, a type of advanced fee scam commonly conducted across the internet is sometimes referred to as a 419 scam. This is based on a section concerning fraud-based offenses in the Criminal Code of what country, which is closely linked to these scams. Perpetrators often pretend to be from it. So I was thinking, okay, this one took me a sec, but I was happy when I thought of what is hopefully the answer. So scams, people pretending to be from a country. There's like the famous like trope or whatever of like the Nigerian prince. It's like, oh yeah, donate this amount of money to like save me or whatever, and then I'll give you a bunch of money. I don't know. I mean, whatever. But like the Nigerian prince is like the classic sort of scam thing. So it's probably Nigeria is my thought here, because perpetrators pretending to be from it I think makes a lot of sense. And then finally, question 6. Most widely used programming languages among software developers is what language? HTML and CSS. I associate those with JavaScript. I had to put together a website from scratch for a summer job that I did, which is like the most horrible thing ever. But I ended up just using like a template because it was like it was so silly. It was like it was like an econ professor, and I was like, yeah, I could help with like economic research. And then he was like, sure. And then once I started, he was like, yo, by the way, we need like a website to display our data. And I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, can you do it? I was like, what do you mean? Like, I can't code. I didn't tell you I could code. But that's what I ended up doing. But I got a significant amount of help from my girlfriend at the time, who was a computer science person, and also from a template from which I made the website, because yeah, the idea of me building a website from scratch was funny. Anyway, that sucked. I don't know why I clicked 6. I think I'll enhance probably 5 because I feel reasonably good about it. I think I figured out what's going on here. Like I think this is like the Nigerian prince thing, and the other ones either are too easy or I don't have them right. So I think, well, am I confident enough that it's Nigeria though? Like, what if it's not? Nah, I'm gonna go with it. I think it makes sense. It makes too much sense. I gotta trust myself. Dude, why are there like so many damn motorcycles? Like, why is this harder than the quizzes themselves? JavaScript, good. Nigeria, good. Bomb? What? Peer-to-peer hash function? Dude, good lord. Okay, I'm never getting any of those. What is a bomb? I've never heard that in a computer context, but fair enough. Hash function, maybe that's a term I've heard. Never getting it. Peer-to-peer, heard of it, never getting it. That is brutal. Honestly, 3 out of 6 is fine there. That's not a quiz I was ever going to do a good job on, so yep, I don't know anything about computers, nor do I particularly care to learn more about them, but I guess, you know, if a quiz about them comes up, I'm happy to learn a few terms. Anyway, this quiz is freaking hard. This quiz is about flutes. There's 6 questions about flutes, but this one is brutal. The average score is 2, which is like one of the lowest we've ever seen, and I completely understand why. Question 1, one of the first things a flute player must learn is how to properly shape their mouth to produce an acceptable sound. What word of French origin is used to refer to the shape and tension of the lips and mouth? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with bouche or lèvres, because those are the words for mouth and lips. So I just came up with like levrage or something, like leverage except without the E. And it would probably be levrage or levrage with an accent, but whatever. I'm sure this isn't a word. It could also be like bouchage or something, but like that sounded even weirder, so I'm just going to go with that. I don't know. Question 2. On a flute, what musical technique is performed by quickly and repeatedly pressing and lifting off a set of keys, indicated with a wavy line? I don't know music things, so this is kind of a problem. I was just trying to think of music theory terms. One that came to mind was adagio. I don't know what adagio actually means. I know it's a music thing where I think you play notes in a... I don't know. Like, I don't know music, man. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what adagio even is, but I mean, there's a lot of words that exist. It could be like allegro or libretto or ostinato or whatever. There's a bunch of Italian words that I could put in here, but I don't really know what any of them mean. So, yeah, I think allegro means fast, but other than that, I have no idea. So yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Question 3: overblowing is a technique in which blowing harder than normal allows us to play overtones. Notes whose frequency is a multiple of the frequency of the note produced when blowing normally. So 880 goes to 3,520. 3,520 is 4 times 880. I think, I'm not 100% sure about this either, but I think when you go an octave higher, it doubles the frequency of the sound. But I'm not positive, because that would be like exponential, which maybe is weird. Like, would frequency just be linear? I'm not sure. But I think it doubles, so I'm going to say 2 octaves higher, because if you double it and then double it again, it would be 2. But the answer might be like 3, because it might just be like 1760 and then 2640 and then 3520. But I wish I knew. Question 4. Edgar Varese's flute composition Density 21.5 was commissioned by Georges Barrère, who played the piece during the debut concert of a flute made entirely of what element? Flutes made of this element are heavier and louder than silver ones. Literally, what the hell? Like, this could be anything. I'm going to guess tin, because tin is an element that you make things out of and is heavier than silver. It's further to the right on the periodic table, so makes sense, I guess, but it could be, again, anything. Like, I don't know. But I'm just not getting this. I mean, maybe density 21.5 is somehow like a clue, but the idea that I would have the densities of chemical elements memorized is laughable, so that's not going to happen. So I'll just go with tin and move on. Debussy's 1913 composition for solo flute goes by what name? It is the name for the instrument, sometimes referred to as the pan pipes or the pan flute, and the name comes from a nymph who was pursued by Pan and made into pan pipes. Thank you for giving me a clue that isn't literally music. I mean, to be fair, there are a couple of these that aren't like directly music. I mean, like maybe number 4. But anyway, this I think is Syrinx, I think is the name of the nymph. And once I thought of the name of the nymph from the story, then I think it made sense, because I feel like I've heard this word used in a musical context, but I'm not actually sure. I wouldn't have gotten it without the pan clue, but I think Syrinx was the name of the nymph from the panpipe story. I don't remember exactly where I read that story, but anyway, I read so many of these stories when I was in college that some of them just kind of stuck. Apparently, English didn't stick, but you get the idea. Like I said, I'm tired. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to get through this video. Question 6. The flute takes center stage in the entr'acte of a certain opera, where it is played before acts 2, 3, and 4. Soon after the seguidilla, which involves the title character and Don Jose. What's an opera that has people with Spanish names in it? Probably Carmen, the one about bullfighting and such. So I feel like Carmen's a pretty good answer here. Anyway, that was certainly something. I think 5, it has to be the one I enhanced, because I think it's right, and it's also definitely not easy. But the rest of these, I don't feel very good about this at all. So we shall see. Really? All right. Trill, 2 octaves is correct. Platinum, okay, whatever. Syrinx and Carmen. That's 3 out of 6. Again, that's fine. So I was right about the frequency doubling. Embouchure, that is... I realistically wasn't going to get that. I wasn't that far away from frauding it, but that's, I mean, you're not going to get that if you haven't heard the word. And then, yeah, platinum. Again, that's an element that's heavier than silver. It's just there are a lot more as well. So, cool. 3 out of 6 is fine on that quiz. That was really, really hard. Finally, quiz 7. Since early June, Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams have had to live at what location? who will likely have to live there for weeks or months more. I believe this is the ISS. There's people talking about how there are people stuck at the ISS, and they're like, yeah, I don't really understand either how people can get stuck at the ISS and you like can't get them down, but whatever. I haven't really read much about this. It just seems like kind of a crazy problem to have, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that is a thing. So I'm going to go with ISS for that. Works, this is a work by what artist, basically? Who is no stranger to monochrome works. Black is black, pink is pink. I have literally no idea. I mean, who's a modern artist who exists? The name I thought of was Hockney. David Hockney is, I don't know, a guy who makes paintings, I think. But modern art is not something I pay much attention to. I don't know what his works look like. I don't know what any other person's works look like. I mean, I thought of some other names, but they were mostly dead guys. I wanted to guess someone I was confident was alive because it's pretty clear from the question that this person is alive, but again, it could be literally anyone, so whatever. Question 3. On July 11th, what actress died due to complications involving diabetes? Known for playing Wendy Torrance in The Shining. This is Shelley Duvall. Yeah, I remember... I know her name because my mom would always complain that she didn't like her performance in The Shining because she was just kind of useless and screamed a lot. And in the book, to be fair, I did read The Shining, and I kind of agreed with that assessment after seeing how Wendy was a lot more of a badass in the book. And it is kind of true. She just sort of did nothing in the movie. So yeah, the movie, like, there were a couple things about that movie that were like, what the hell? Like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but like, I watched the movie after reading the book, and I was just thinking, like, what the hell is this? This is so, like, different from the book, and there are choices made that I just don't really understand. So anyway, everyone's like, oh, The Shining's the best movie ever, but like, okay, maybe not. But they all say it's really good, and I watched it, and I wasn't impressed. Maybe it's just because of the book, but I'm pretty sure Stephen King hates the movie too, so I understand where he's coming from. Question 4. Venezuela held its presidential election July 28th. The incumbent president of Venezuela is Nicolas Maduro. I have no idea who the other candidate was, but thankfully it doesn't matter. On August 2nd, Ivan Litvinovich won an Olympic gold medal. Why the hell, by the way, are there so many Olympics questions? Like, calm down, please. But anyway, he's from Belarus, competing under what designation given also to Russian competitors? I know that this is a thing, that, like, they can't play under the Russian flag because of, like, the doping thing or whatever. But I don't, like, the name of the designation, like, are you kidding me? I have no idea. Like, Russian Federation athletes, like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, athletes without federation. I don't know, man. I have no idea. This is just not something I'm ever going to be able to get, so whatever. Question 6. On August 14th, the WHO gave the recent spike in what disease the designation of public health emergency, blah, blah, blah. I think this is monkeypox. This is just something people have been talking about, that there's an outbreak of monkeypox. So, yeah, again, I don't know much about it, but I know that it's a thing, so I'm just going to go with that, and then I will enhance. Probably either 3 or 4. Maybe 3 is a little harder. Yeah, I think this is probably 4 out of 6, but I don't think I'm getting 2 or 5 correct. So yeah, it's the best I'm going to do. I have so much else to do, so I'm going to end this video and go get to the other stuff. I'm already really tired. I've said that like 3 times. It's fine. I'm not feeling it right now. Anyway, Anish Kapoor, sure, he's the guy who did the Bean, AIN, whatever, yeah. Sure. Again, I don't watch the Olympics, so that's just not something I would get. And yeah, okay. 4 out of 6, that's fine. Did I get scores yet for, no, I didn't. I was wondering if I screwed up the Belgrade question, but I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and call it a day. I mean, I'll pause the recording and hopefully my scores will come up in a sec, so we'll actually be able to review them, but I've got some other stuff to get to. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a sec and we'll see how I did. Alrighty, so here are the final standings for the week. I finished 7th, which is fine. I mean, again, I didn't feel like I did super well with the quizzes, but I think a lot of them were pretty hard, and they weren't really categories that suited me super well. So 7th is honestly better than I expected. I did put Belgrade instead of Serbia, which is tough because, again, I read the question first, and I knew the answer was Serbia, but because again, I looked at the questions hours ago and I answered them for myself then, but then I was talking too much in the video and got distracted and wasn't paying attention, so tough. But yeah, otherwise, very, very solid. Happy with the score. And yeah, I mean, there were a couple of really, really tough quizzes, so I can't feel too discouraged. Again, like, Quiz 4 was very hard, or Quiz 6 rather was very hard, and I got 3.85, which is super solid, honestly. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough rambling. I can't even talk right now. I'm just again, like I said, I'm not in the right state of mind right now. But yeah, thank you all for watching week 4. Week 5 will be probably a bit of a shambles because I'm going to be recording it on my laptop from Europe, but it'll work. So yeah, looking forward to that. But for now, thank you all for watching, and I will see you again next week. Bye.